Culture assessment is one of the first steps that you need to do when you embark on a culture journey. The reason is that the quality of your culture assessment will dictate the quality of your culture journey. The levers you will choose in implementing culture change will depend on what you find in your current culture and in the assessment. For example, if you want to work on innovation, it's a very different story if you're starting from a point where there is a lot of bureaucracy and people have to follow orders or the way things are done, and if they never challenge things, or if they actually work on continuous improvement and are able to make some changes, but not the big bang changes that you may want to see in innovation. So knowing your starting point and evaluating the gap will be very important in choosing the levers you need for culture change. There's also two other elements that are particularly important in your culture assessment. One is to identify what I call the blockages that may exist in your culture. If I take the example of innovation, for example, if that's what your target culture is like, you could actually focus your culture journey straight away on innovation. But if you have a problem around accountability or empowerment in the organization, what may actually happen that those two elements may block the progress that you could do on innovation. So knowing your blockages are very, very important, and this is what the culture assessment will give you. So you need to assess the gap between your current and your future culture. You need to also assess the blockages. The last thing that the culture assessment is going to give you is why culture is the way it is. It will give you the belief system, the values, the emotions, the feelings that exist in your culture, and that may lead to people behaving the way they do. Now, it is particularly important because this is the target for change. The shared belief system that exists in the organization is what you need to focus on if you want to start transforming your culture. So I always tell my clients that one of the very first steps you really need to do is to know your culture really well. And it's not just about interviewing a few people in the organization or gathering and collecting your thoughts about what you think it is, but it is about talking to a lot of different people in the organization to find out what the patterns of behavior are in the organization.